The San Antonio Spurs are much better with a starting point guard in the starting lineup. Who knew?
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Our San Antonio Spurs are 5-7 right now with Tre Jones as a starter. And yes, I know a lot of that has been against weaker opponents, but they did have that huge win against the Timberwolves last night. And for all the talk about basketball being positionless, our team is much, much better with the traditional point guard in the starting lineup. So I want to get your thoughts, Spurs fans. Can they keep this up throughout the season? Not be a playoff team or play-in team, but just play better team basketball. Keep the games competitive and start maybe beating some of the better teams here and there in the NBA. Let me know in the comments down below. Hit the thumbs up if you like the sports channel. And subscribe to become part of our awesome sports community and Spurs community. You know what I'm saying. So let's talk about El Capitan first. Tre Jones. Not sweet, not sour, the man of the hour. As a starter, he's played in 12 games, about 30 minutes per game. Tre right now is shooting 60% from the field and 41% from beyond the arc. I think he took that miss against the Bucks, that three-pointer that could have tied the game personally, and he's been practicing his threes, or maybe he's had just a little bit of luck, but his three-point shooting has been phenomenal. He has not missed a free throw in this time frame, averaging almost 7.5 assists a game, 1.5 steals, limiting his turnovers to 1.5 turnovers per game, and averaging 13 points per game. I've been one of those people that has said, I'm not sure I believe in Tre as a franchise point guard, but those stats right there tell me he can be. And not only has Tre been playing much better, but you know who else has benefited from having a point guard? This should shock no Spurs, should be no surprise. But Victor Wembanyama is playing much better with somebody who's actively looking to get the ball to him. In 11 games and still on a minutes restriction, which hopefully ended this weekend with him playing a back-to-back. In only 26 minutes a game, he's shooting 51% from the field, 33% from beyond the arc. Yes, he'd like to see that go up, 83% from the line. Just under 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists, over 3 blocks a game. The big stat I want to look at, 24.8 points per game. Wemby is averaging almost a point a minute, which is ridiculous. Yes, I know the turnovers are up. That's mostly really a lot because of the last 2 games where he had, unfortunately, 13 turnovers total. So aside from that, Wemby has been playing much better with Tre at the point guard spot. But it's not that Tre and Wemby that have been playing better. We've seen Devin play a lot better in spots. Kelvin Johnson, Jeremy step up. I mean, look at this game here that they had against the Blazers. Wemby had a double-double, but Sochan also had a double-double with 31 points and 14 rebounds. And then Kelvin had a double-double with 21 and 16. And my apologies, by the way, to Kelvin Johnson. I mentioned he had 16 rebounds when I did a recap of the game. After the game, I do a quick breakdown of the stats. Half of those rebounds were offensive rebounds. He had 8 offensive rebounds. Dare I say, Spurs fans, right now our biggest need is not necessarily point guard. I think Tre's shown us he can be capable, and Blake Wesley, by the way, is developing very well as a backup point guard. Maybe he's the starter 2, 3, 4 years down the line. I don't know, the jury's out, but if Tre can stay a consistent 40% shooter, and there's no reason that he can't stay as a starter. Yes, I know he's undersized, but many guys have excelled at the point guard position that were shorter than, I don't know, me, and I'm 6'4". That being said, if we feel like Tre can do the job moving forward, and right now, playing the way he is, I think he can, and I hope he continues to prove me wrong when I say I don't think that he's going to be a franchise point guard. What do the Spurs do moving forward? If Kelvin Johnson is going to stay on the bench where he's done a good job, inconsistent at times, which has been the problem with our team for the most part the last few years, but overall he's been doing a great job as a 6th man and has been in the games at closing time. Do we then lead toward drafting maybe something like a small forward or Alexander Sarr if he's available? And the Spurs would have the Eiffel Towers, which a lot of fans seem to want. We'd have the French Connection, the Eiffel Towers, whatever you want to call it. Now give us a starting lineup of Wemby, Sarr, Sochan. Pause right there. We would have a huge front court, 7'4", 7'1", and 6'8", 6'9". So we'd probably have will we not have the biggest front court in the NBA? Or is Minnesota close there? I think we'd have the biggest front court. Round out with Vassell and then either Jones or Wesley. Now, I don't know which direction the team's going to go in. Obviously, a lot of that's going to depend on which pick we get. I see a lot of people in the chat saying Nikola Topic as a person we should grab. So I think a lot of folks are not sold on Tre yet. But I got to look at the way he's been playing. I got to look at the way the team's been playing. And I really feel like the only weakness in the starting lineup, and I'm sorry, I've talked about this a lot in the channel, is Julian Champagnie. Yeah, he plays decent defense at times, and he can hit a 3, but overall, his production is very low for a starter, and there's a reason he's not in there close games at the end, and Keldon is. Again, if Keldon's going to stay on the bench, then I think right now the biggest spot we need to replace is not Trey Jones' spot at the 1, but Julian Champagne's spot at the 3. Be interesting to see how the Spurs play this out moving forward, but it's been a lot of fun to see them not only win some games, and my goodness, look how happy our guys are when they win. It's just great to see. They're celebrating like they just won the NBA championship. I love seeing how happy they are together. They're growing. They're learning how to compete. They're learning how to come from behind. Their last 2 wins against the Blazers and the Wolves, they lost the first quarter. They were down both games in the first quarter. Then outscored their opponent in the second, the third, and the fourth to win the game. And that has not been the narrative for a lot of this year, with the Spurs being blown out in the third quarter and lately not been playing too good in the second. So I like that the team is starting to play 48 minutes of basketball, or maybe lately 36. As in the first 12 they're not so good, but the last 36 they are playing well. That being said, I'm excited. I keep saying this, it's a good time to be a Spurs fan. The team is growing. We have our franchise guy finally, and that's all I got in regards to that. But I do have 2 things I want to add before we close it up. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Happy 75th birthday to Greg Popovich. Yes, he turned 75 today. And also a fun fact I saw on the Spurs Facebook page, and I hope this is true, so hopefully I'm not throwing out anything that's not incorrect, but it seems like a few people have verified it. Our San Antonio Spurs are 4-0 at home when a bat gets inside the arena. Take that for what you will. I guess bats are good luck for us. I don't know, but so have a fun week. 4 more games. We can win tomorrow night. We've got the Wizards tomorrow night. The Spurs can win that game and have their first 3-game winning streak of the year. I think we play the Orlando Magic next. From what I understand, they haven't playing as not the best basketball lately. So there's a chance maybe we can win 4 in a row. But you know what? I don't want to get greedy, Spurs fans. I'll be very happy to get our first 3-game winning streak of the year. And just see how this team continues to grow throughout the season. Trade deadline's coming up. Pop in the front office can do something. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be here if it does. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy the NFL playoff games if that's your thing tonight. I'll be watching. And as always, go Spurs go.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel